First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Braden Harrington here with Davey Portman for UpNXT, postwrestling.com, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. You found us here and you're listening to us. But of course, we're also live,
pal. Twitch.tv/upNXT podcast.
Yes, we watch NXT every Wednesday night and then we talk about it here on the show. You know why. You already know, you know why.
Because we're your NXT friends.
Friends. Yes, and we'll always be your friends. Whether it's Wednesday nights, Tuesday nights.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Impact. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We'll always be there for you, repping that black and gold.
I just have to tell my boss at my shoot job that maybe I need Tuesdays off.
They'll understand. It's wrestling. Everyone understands when it's wrestling.
Wrestling always comes first, right? That's how it works in wrestling fans' world. Yes, welcome to UpNXT. Well, we are on the road to WrestleMania.
We're getting there, yeah. We are.
Because tonight it kind of seems like we're all of a sudden just pushing towards a super card next Wednesday night. Yes, there's rumors of NXT moving to Tuesday nights. I know instantly a lot of AEW fans are like, oh, they're waving the white flag. They're leaving. They're going to a different night. I don't necessarily see it like that.
I mean, it is, but it's the right move to do.
Yeah.
It's they could just dig their heels in and be like, well, we were here first, but it's better for business, right, to move nights.
It's like when we always go live after NXT on Wednesdays. We've been doing that for so long, and then it's like John and Wade just decided, you know what, we'll go live after Dynamite.
Like, fuck, we'll have to move to Tuesdays then.
We're going to have to go to Tuesdays.
That's why they did it.
Yeah, they knew. They were helping us out. So no matter what night of the week, we'll still figure it out, and we'll still continue the AEW shows as well. Lots of news regarding that one coming out with the Go Home show to Revolution this week, which we'll be doing a watch along and post show on the Twitch for AEW Revolution, because we can't wait to see exploding barbed wire death match.
Oh yes, very excited.
We just recorded a show today with Damian Abraham from Turned Out a Punk, The Wrestlers, and Fucked Up, with a special best death match ever. And we like you guys, so we're putting it out for free. The Patreons, it's already in your inbox, early release. But Friday, this show will be out probably early Friday in the morning, maybe even Thursday night if if I'm feeling nice. Might even do that. So listen for that. Damien has handpicked 5+ matches and some other stuff, death matches in the world of pro wrestling, including exploding barbed wires, and all that stuff. We're gonna talk about it and pick which is the best. And I'm talking Onita, Funk, all the crazy stuff. Moxley there's some crazy this is some of the most crazy wrestling I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and if you want to check out some of this prior to our podcast, we've been invited onto Stephanie Chase's YouTube channel tomorrow night to do a watch along of Onita versus Funk in the exploding barbed wire death match time bomb match.
Yeah. Which is a match we talk about with Damien.
The match is up there for free on YouTube. So come join us. It's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern time. Just search Stephanie Chase Wrestling on YouTube, and you'll find her. It's going to be a live watch along. A lot of you are very familiar with the watch alongs we do on Twitch. So come hang out. And by the time the show's finished, maybe the show will be uploaded, so you can go and then listen to our thoughts after.
Yeah, so all the exploding barbed wire death matches is all we've been watching this week. I feel like a psychopath.
A lot of blood we've been watching in the last week.
Yeah, whether it's like, look, these matches we talk about, I recommend going and watching them for what the fuck moments, essentially. And we review them, we go through and pick which was the craziest and stuff, and some of these matches are nuts. Kenny and Mox have quite shoes to fill Sunday. I think they're going to do some crazy shit, but more on that, I think, on tomorrow's show.
We'll be talking all about AEW tomorrow.
Yeah, if you listen to us every week talk about NXT, we do AEW BD Elite free on this feed as well, so go check that out as well, which we'll probably start doing after AEW goes off the air as well during probably this change up.
If this move happens,
down
absolutely,
the line.
yeah,
But
Wednesday nights.
Yeah, for now, Thursdays at 1 p.m. on
Yes.
the Twitch as well. But so many podcasts, but I can't wait for everyone to hear this one with Damien. That was so much fun. And piranhas and wrestling, something I can never forget. I think I'm scarred. I mentioned we're kind of soft, and this got me. Piranhas were really scary, and listen to us talk about.
Oh
it.
yeah.
But there's some other stuff
we've
we
got.
got.
This has been a pretty packed week, kind of come out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
But yeah, we've had Shot in the Dark is already on the feed, so go and listen to that. John Cena in 15 minutes running down the AEW Women's Tournament, that Moxley versus Kenta match, the NXT UK Tag Championship, that's all on Shot in the Dark. You've mentioned BD Elite. We've got a new episode of Was Next happening on Saturday, where we're looking at the February 20th, 2013 edition of NXT, where we finally get the big reveal. Who is Sasha Banks' secret admirer?
Oh, yeah.
And Biggie Langston in the main event against The Ascension,
The Ascension.
Conor O'Brien.
Yeah, just him.
Just
when they were
The
split.
Ascension, Conor O'Brien.
When they were split for
Yeah.
a while. Yeah, going back and watching the old NXTs from the beginning has been a lot of fun. And I know a lot of our listeners have become kind of like deep into this now. They want to know the history of NXT, and we've been going back and going through. And yeah, Big E's still our champ right now. Crazy times.
Then on Sunday, we've obviously got the AEW Revolution watch along and post show. That'll be live on Twitch, 8 p.m. Twitch.tv/upnextpodcast. And then the podcast form will be available for patrons. And sometime next week, we had to delay this a bit, but sometime next week, we are going to be releasing our Batman and Robin review. Feedback threads already open on the Post Wrestling Forum, and people are going at it in there. People.
Oh, I haven't looked.
Oh, yeah.
Are they talking about bat nips?
I offended someone by calling it a fan favourite for all the wrong reasons.
Drama.
They're going back and forth on there. It's very exciting. So
Yeah.
leave your thoughts for that wonderful, wonderful film, Batman.
I will
and
say,
Robin.
on this free feed, if you're listening to right now, we have been reviewing all the Batman movies, and a lot of our listeners have been saying that Batman and Robin's the one they've just been waiting for. And,
Yes.
well, the time has come. And so at some point next week, it will be released. So go get your feedback in while you can. So can't wait. All the free shows we've been giving you guys, and we love podcasting in these crazy times. It's like this keeps us sane. So yeah, we do a lot on the Patreon, but we do a lot for free as well. So go check out all the shows and go hit that subscribe, or go give us a nice comment on Apple Podcasts or whatever it is. Every view and retweet and all that stuff helps. The month of March has begun. It's springtime, which means you should sign up to the Patreon.
Good time. Best week to sign up.
Yeah.
And you get the whole week. The whole month. Right?
Yeah, whole month and everything we've ever done in the back catalog. So
Yeah.
you can go back and select whatever you want to watch. So $5 North American tier is all it takes to support us here at the BD, including Best Match Ever, Neverweight Open Title we did with Mike Murray, Best Match Ever PWG we did with Martin. All these other past shows we'll be doing. And March is looking crazy because we have a few up yours. And our listeners, our World Champ patrons, are wildin' because Charbel has risen from the ashes like a phoenix and has selected Spider-Man, Spider-Verse, which is going to be a review in the next week or so as well. So that's crazy. And then Jake, another world champ, has picked like a New Japan Super J Cup from like 94, the famous one. So we're doing so many fucking great shows, and I can't wait.
Canadian Stampede is coming up this month.
Crazy.
All over the place, as always, on the Patreon.
And Leprechaun for St. Patrick's Day.
And Leprechaun.
Yeah.
But something that will, I think, one day be on the Patreon. What was this Bob Odenkirk film that kept on being advertised tonight during NXT?
It looked like
It's Bob
Taken?
Odenkirk does Taken, right?
It's like Death Wish, but it's Bob Odenkirk. So obviously people know him from Better Call Saul, but I still like know him from like, I don't know, like I swear he's like Ben Stiller show or Bob and David, I think it was.
I mean, essentially, we all know him from comedies. Like he definitely stretches those dramatic muscles in Saul, but you know him as, funny guy,
so
Bob
weird.
Odenkirk.
It wasn't the weirdest thing that I've seen all week because Post Malone released a cover of a Hootie and the Blowfish song for a 25th anniversary of Pokemon, and then did a live digital animated concert as well. So the world is in a weird...
it's weird.
The world's going on. I only want to be with you.
Okay. Yeah, I was just checking to see if this is like a drama comedy or whatever. No.
It's not a comedy.
He's got the best name though. Okay.
Bob Odenkirk.
It's called Nobody.
Yeah.
A bystander who intervenes to help a woman being harassed by a group of men becomes the target of a vengeful drug lord. And Bob Odenkirk's name in the film. This is very like 80s, 90s action.
All right.
Hutch Mansell.
What the fuck?
Yeah. That sounds like a new signee to NXT.
We're going to watch this? Can we watch this?
We got to.
We're going to watch this. We'll keep you updated. I have some big news about watching stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Are you ready for this?
Go
Bombshell? For it. I finished The Sopranos.
Oh!
I did it, guys. You can send me all the Sopranos memes.
And what were your
Don't stop believing.
Okay.
Yeah. Never stop believing. He dies, right? Like he gets clipped. That's what happens, right?
That's the theory. Yeah.
That's the theory. I really love Paulie. I really love Christopher, and I'm definitely going when I rewatch some.
Christopher.
Yeah. I think those are great. I know who plays Tony because he's just fantastic. Rest in peace,
Gandolfini.
Yeah, he's just fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that whole show. It was just finally great to finish, and I never got spoiled.
That's good.
I knew that like there was one particular death near the end of the show which I had to stop watching for like a good week. It made me genuinely upset, and I don't want to say who it is in case people didn't. But if you've seen it, you kind of know, and it involves a favorite character near the end.
I somewhat got spoiled.
Okay, involves a nose plug.
Skip ahead 2 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
But just the way it ends with it being cut like cutting to black out of nowhere.
Right.
Because that got spoofed on Family Guy. Family Guy did the Lois kills Stewie thing. And that came out, I think, shortly after Sopranos finished. And it all turned out to be like a visual simulation. And Brian's going, you mean a dream? It's like, no, a dream. No, not a dream. That would be cheap. And it's like, well, it could be worse. It could be just cutting off mid-set. And then before the Lost finale, they were doing like famous other like finales from other series. So you had... like Dallas coming out the shower and it was all a dream, and you have the Sopranos Don't Stop Believing thing.
Wow.
But apparently when it first happened, loads of people were just like checking their sets, being like, what the fuck? It like thought they'd lost the end of the show because it cut out, and it's like, no, that's the end.
Don't stop
Love
believing.
It. Don't stop believing.
I really love the show. I know I've been talking about documentaries. I watched the Netflix Fear City on like the mob and the 80s and stuff like that, and that was quite interesting. So I'm a big fan of some of the mafia movies. We did a review of Godfather somewhere back there on the Patreon a little while ago, but it finally did it. So I got to decide what's the next series. I gotta like decide. I have to make sure it's the right one for me. So I got to do some research because The Sopranos took me a while. I'm slow with TV shows.
I mean, I think HBO shows in general are kind of like that. They're slow, but they're quality. Like I feel when you sit down to an episode of The Sopranos, you're watching a mini movie, right? And sometimes you want to consume it more like a movie and take a little step back rather than binge episode after episode. I felt the same with Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
I still haven't, I tried the first episode of The Wire. That's one I want to definitely try again.
I'm thinking I want to maybe start. The Wire's on the
Did you finish Barry? I feel like you dropped out of that.
I feel like I haven't. No, we were just talking about how we're one friend away from being friends with
Bill Hader.
Yeah. You'll have to listen to that Best Death Match Ever show. No, I have to. Actually, yeah, I haven't
because that's worth finishing.
Yeah,
that's quite an easy watch, but still like got enough drama to kind of get your teeth into.
I got to catch up. I watch here and there episodes of Letterkenny sometimes when I'm like not just watching whatever as well, but. Yeah, I got to find the right show for me. But I finally did it. So send me all your Soprano memes and theories and all that stuff. Because I'm excited for the movie. They pushed it back.
Prequel.
It was supposed to be
James
out like
Gandolfini's kid
playing
Tony.
him.
That's wild.
So really, it's very strange. But I'm definitely going to be looking for that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a review of it or something. But I'm that's it.
I may need to do I'm not going to have time for a full rewatch, but you see lists online which are the key episodes you need to watch. So I might do that, rewatch a bit of Sopranos before
to
the
get
film.
back into the movie. Yeah. Well, the best episode is the one where Christopher and Paulie get lost in the woods.
Oh, that's awesome. It's so good.
It's just brilliant. I also love Paulie's rant on snakes. I'm really into that rant. It's just brilliant. Welcome to our NXT show about The Sopranos. And
if you're new to us, this
Bob
is what we do. If you don't like it, skip 20 minutes at the beginning of each show.
Yeah, essentially. Obviously, the biggest news of NXT is like this whole moving to Tuesday thing, and everyone's like, and it seems that they're gonna do this around WrestleMania time, so within a month or plus around there, 2 months or whatever. And it looks like they put out a graphic for TakeOver on a Thursday.
Yes.
Very weird.
Well, when else would you do it?
Couldn't do it on the Friday. You can't do it on the Saturday.
Friday.
Yeah, very strange.
But it would mean would you have NXT back to back? Would you have it Wednesday night and then Thursday takeover? The go home show the night before. That's kind of...
It's cool.
Cool. Yeah, a bit different.
I would put a title match on both nights.
Why not? Yeah, make it a big episode. Like hype up the big matches, but have one killer match to finish the show. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd be pretty down with that. So there's also some news. We are supposed to have 2 tag title matches tonight,
Yes.
but Wes Lee from MSK actually got injured in his hand. So the gimmick where it was the GYV took him out, it's legit. He's actually injured.
Got a broken hand.
So they're not wrestling tonight. That match is called off. So, which I'm like, damn, they were on this crazy hot streak. Hopefully that doesn't take too long to recover from.
I'm hoping a broken hand. I mean, I remember Juice did the whole G1 with a broken hand, and I think once, hopefully just a few weeks, and then it can be in a cast and still work. I don't know. Who knows? I'm not a doctor. I don't know what I'm talking about.
A broken hand, it's just
you can shrug it off.
It's no broken heart. So, I'm sure, I hope they can come back really soon and back into the mix.
Absolutely. Because they're the hot thing right now.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess we should get into some NXT, unless there's anything else that's popping off for you. Are you ready for some NXT?
I'm ready for some NXT, yeah.
All right. Let's talk about NXT from Wednesday, March 3rd, 2021. We start off with a match that takes place instead of the tag title match because it explains the Rascals, I'm still calling them that, are taken out of action. But there was an online WWE.com video that they show us here, and it's Champa who interjects with Oni and Danny and MSK and says hey, you can't fight them, but I want to lay a challenge. Me and Toothless Tim lay down the challenge, and they're like, you know what, we'll fight you, but not everyone gets title opportunities, so it's a non-title match. So Ciampa's like, all right, grow some, and then Carter steps in and goes, bollocks.
I like the idea of this match because both teams formed the same way, essentially. They had a series of matches where both guys beat the piss out of each other, and then they're like, all right, let's be partners. Because that's exactly how Oni and Danny started.
Right.
And now you got that with Champa and Thatcher. So I thought it was quite a good replacement.
That's true. They both have formed the same way if you go back to their history.
You just need to throw Cesaro and Sheamus in the mix as well.
Enemies who turn friends.
That turn friends.
Great stuff. Well, this match is happening. It's Danny and Oni versus Champa and Thatcher. Danny and Thatcher start off here, and they're grinding at each other. All these guys are kind of around the same kind of hard-hitting, kind of grapple guys, tough men here in NXT.
All fit right into the never open weight division.
They could be bangers. Yeah, for sure. Oni's got this. Oni could be Shibata-esque. He's lanky, There's Danny and Thatcher who keep tying it up and grappling for grapple here, but then it's Oni and Champa who's in, and Ciampa's doing him dirty, using his forearm against his head. Ciampa then hits this lariat to Oni, turning him inside out. He tags back to Thatcher, who works on Oni, and he's fish hooking him. I love a good fish hook. There's then Thatcher with this beauty belly to belly to Lorcan for a near fall. Then Ciampa's back with the running freight train and clothesline after clothesline, and then a double clothesline after a commercial break. There's then the hatch suplex, hottest suplex in town right now. I have written down the good guys are beating down on the baddies because there's a spot here where they both sit down, Danny and Oni, and then they just do the guillotine strikes.
Club the chest.
Yeah, the striking simultaneously. Looks really great here. Ciampa has the advantage with a headbutt, and then everyone's kicking everyone. There's leg lariats, there's backhands, there's all this crazy stuff. The finish of this seems to be where Imperium come out on the ramp, and they all stand there watching. This distracts Ciampa for some reason. He gets sent to the outside.
Because he's a wrestler. Wrestlers get distracted.
Then it's Danny and Oni who hit their assisted spike DDT and pin Thatcher. Danny and Oni, the champs, win in this non-title match, but all because Imperium were just standing there.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this match. Completely different style to we'd have got if MSK were fighting tonight, but I thought this was really good. I really enjoy this style of wrestling, just the heavy hitting, tough bastards going at it. And that's exactly what I got. I thought a good way to start off the show. Intrigue with Imperium as well. Thought the finish was a bit sloppy. I'm not overly keen on the distraction, but I liked it.
Yeah, this match was fine. I feel like there's a better match in there. I feel like any singles matches between any of these 4 combinations
Absolutely
would be good as well.
Yeah,
but
completely.
Yeah, it was fine for what it was, but it kind of leaves you now. There's some intrigue and mystery behind Imperium because I believe Thatcher has ties with them.
Ring camp.
Ring camp. Yeah. Okay. So a little bit more on that later, but yeah, it was all right. But that means Danny and Oni are still champs. They're still reigning like strong as they need to have some sort of momentum as champs because
I still think somehow we're going to get the titles on GYV.
Yeah,
and that's who MSK are going to challenge.
I feel like that's the right move.
Yeah.
But
the tag division's looking better. I think I would say it's starting to kind of feel like hot again.
Yeah. We go to Roderick Strong, who wants some answers from Adam Cole. He's wearing this beautiful black button-up shirt with white specks all over it, and he's got a stress ball because he is stressed. Bro, he's so stressed. So he comes down to the ring, and he throws his stress ball away, and he says, Adam Cole, get your ass out here right now, says Roddy, one of my favorites on the mic. I'll always, what's the saying? I'll stand on that grave. I'll go to the grave with that. What is it? I'll stand on that hill. Whatever. I'll die on that hill.
Die on that hill.
Yeah, I found it. I'll die on the hill that Roddy is good on the mic. Yeah, at me, bro. Roddy says, Adam Cole, get your ass out here right now. If any one of us in that group meant a thing to you, just anything, a little bit, then you please better get out here right now. But instead of Cole, here comes Finn Balor. He says, Roddy, when are you going to learn that Cole's not going to come out here for you? He's not going to give you some cheesy explanation. He doesn't care. Roddy, you know what? I find it funny. Roddy just cuts him off and says, Undisputed Era was fine until you showed up, Finn. So the whole thing is your fault. Oh, man, this is like a love triangle now. I feel bad for Roddy. Roddy got the dirtiest in this.
Roddy just feels like kind of the stupid one, but you still feel sorry for him. Like he's still trying to like get to grips on it, and so much so that he's going to blame Finn for the fact his best friend stabbed him in the back because he's confused.
We talk about this movie a lot, but Closer. Yeah, Roddy's Jude Law. And this Roddy got fucked.
Yeah.
But also it goes all the way around. Everyone got fucked.
Everyone
but
gets fucked.
Roddy just left out in the cold here.
Yeah.
He's just like, he doesn't even know who he wants. Adam Cole, but Cole doesn't even care enough to want to fight him or explain why. Like, just like think about like relationships. Like Roddy's just like all of a sudden it's like a love quadruple away.
Being dumped with no reason. Yeah, imagine that.
That would suck, wouldn't it? Wow.
I just like making you feel awkward.
That would just whoever that would happen to would just be one pathetic loser. No. So poor Roddy's just like, Finn, you ruined Undisputed Era. It's all your fault. And Finn's like, bro, your brotherhood fell apart not because of you, not because of Kyle, because of this, the championship. I know how to get Adam Cole's attention. I know how to get him out here. Cole, next week, Finn Balor versus Adam Cole for the NXT Championship. On me. Let's go. Next week. And as for you, Roddy, you'll never be a leader. You'll always be a follower until you get a little bit more greedy and selfish with that killer instinct, but you don't got it. So Roddy proves him wrong and decks him straight in the face. They're brawling in the ring. He drops him. His shirt gets ripped off him. Roddy's shirt, I hope it's okay. I hope the buttons didn't fly. Take my life, but not my shirt. And they're pulled apart here. Great pull apart. I actually really loved this promo. This was weird. Roddy and Finn had a better like promo storyline than Adam Cole last week, it feels like. Yeah,
I found last week a bit confusing. It felt a bit overthought with the Adam being sorry, but was he sorry the whole time, or like was he just luring Roddy and Finn in? It was all a bit weird. This I thought was great. I think Finn actually works in this kind of tweener role, being the champion, and you could see him in this moment being a heel and a baby face.
Yeah.
Calling out the guy who keeps on kicking you in the face and going like, I want to fight you, so sure, championship match next week. That's badass. Like, badass baby face. But also he's got these lines to Roddy that are true but are kind of dickish.
They're mean.
And you feel like this guy is going through a heartbreak, and you're you're rubbing salt in the wounds almost. So for that, he's got a bit of a heel side, and this pull apart, Finn was winning the fight for sure. Finn had the dominance over Roddy, and it took them to pull him apart. So you're setting up the match for later, and Roddy's coming in as the underdog who has kind of been just shat on a bit by this guy. So you're then getting a babyface heel dynamic, even though in the big picture, Finn is not a heel. So I kind of like this a lot.
So they then announced after the break that this is happening tonight. Finn Balor versus Roddy, but the title's not on the line. Finn is like, nah, keep that next week. And we try to do some digging. Correct us if we're wrong, please. Is this the first time these two are going to fight?
I couldn't find anything. I searched Roderick Strong, Prince Devitt,
Finn Balor? Yeah.
Couldn't find anything.
I thought for sure they would have fought before, but
I don't like Balor was
one-on-one,
Balor didn't really do ROH or stuff like that, did he?
No.
So unless I can't think when they'd have really crossed.
Another thing, Roddy is separated from Undisputed Era because he comes out with different music. It's new music. I know his move, his finisher, the suplex into the backbreaker, the end of Heartache, and this song sounds like a ripoff of Killswitch Engage, End of Heartache. Right. That's what it sounded like it to me. I'm seeing in the chat here that they got to bring back his ROH theme, Misery Signals. Yeah, the band that was lit. And and people in the chat are asking, now that Roddy's out of Undisputed Era, does he go back to being a dad?
Being a dad.
That was his gimmick before.
It was, yeah.
I mean, it would be all right. In 2021, that'd be a great main roster gimmick.
Just bring back Marina Shafir. Just have her be pregnant in character, even if she's not pregnant. Just do the whole thing again.
I mean, I don't know if that's necessary.
Just do the whole thing. Just go back. Rewind the clock.
Dad gimmick.
He's trying to find himself.
I love
Have
that.
him come out in the army pants and vest again, thinking he's part of AOP.
I like his
go
old
through all the Roddy gimmicks.
I liked him as Mr. Ring of Honor. He was so good in Ring of Honor, underutilized, underappreciated Ring of Honor. Roderick Strong. Okay, well that's happening later tonight, and that was some good stuff. Are you ready for more good stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go to the Central Florida Psychiatric Center for some therapy. That's right. The Way are going to therapy. We see Austin Theory, Johnny Gargano, Indy, and Candice in a I'm going to say therapy office.
Yeah, therapy office.
So they're in this office, and Austin Theory's like, hey, this doesn't look like Chuck E. Cheese. And Johnny's like, shh. We meet this psychiatrist here, Linda Nicoli. She's some doctor. She says, well, it seems like Loomis has been affecting you all, obviously referring to Dexter Loomis, scaring him. I'm still laughing at myself for saying therapy office. I can't get over it.
But now I can't think of the actual words. Exactly. I'm just thinking, therapy office, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Your therapy bed, your therapy couch.
It's like when Tony Soprano goes to his therapist, psychiatrist, whatever. So they say that Loomis is affecting us, and he kidnapped Theory. Meanwhile, Indy is doing a sketch of her own that she keeps mentioning cute little lines about how she's got a crush on him. Theory promises that nothing bad happened when he was kidnapped by him. He says it was just two dudes having a good time. Some Lonely Island, I think, is what he was quoting. Then he mentions that it's a cold, hard world out there. And Indy says that I'd warm up Dexter Loomis. Then Johnny takes away her notepad, and it's hearts with Mrs. Indy Wrestling Loomis. And he says, wow, I gave you that nickname for Christmas as a gift, and now you've ruined Christmas. So we got to fix this. Dexter Loomis should be in jail. We got to lock him up. And I'm not here to be therapied on. She says, you need to calm down, sir. He says, I am calm. I'm always calm. My nickname is Johnny Calm Gargano. And then she kicks him out. She says, this is my office. He said, this is my office now. She says, no. To be continued.
Yeah.
Remember last week when Johnny said, what's happening? Yeah, he was right.
So many camera shots in this. So many different angles. It was... I don't know. I'm so over this stuff. And we had 4 segments of this week. I thought Theory was actually pretty funny in some of the bits he did this week. Shall we just talk about it all with the last one? Because we're going to keep on going back to this, aren't we?
Yeah. There's more of this to be continued.
I can't keep talking about this.
I don't want to talk about it more. Yeah. We go to Cameron Grimes, who's in the truck, the NXT truck, the production truck. And he says, CWC is the venue here. Well, I want to change it to the CGA, the Cameron Grimes Arena. William Regal shows up and says, hey, Cameron, last week you hit a crew member, and it's a potential lawsuit that I'm dealing with right now, so I'm not happy with you. He says, oh, hey, don't worry about the money. And he pulls out wads of cash, and he's like, Mr. Regal, I'll pay you all the money. Don't worry, I'll pay you off. He says, no, I'm not worried about the money. That's not the issue. I'm worried about you. I'm not happy with you. He says, well, Regal, I got Kiss My Grits money. I can do whatever I want. Regal says, well, you're going to do what I want. And tonight I have a contract, a match for you, one-on-one against Bronson Reed. And Grimes is like, shit. Can't pay my way out of this. He says, stupid Ted DiBiase.
I love the relationship between Grimes and Regal. It's kind of like that, was it Boy Meets World, Mr. Feeney?
Mr. Feeney?
Yeah, like the teacher, like with the naughty kid who,
right.
But Regal has like a soft spot for Grimes.
Right.
I feel like
tough love.
I feel like when Grimes finally moves up to the main roster, I want to see that scene with Regal like wishing him well and sending him on his way. You know, I just think these two are funny together. I love Regal plays the straight man so well in all these skits with Grimes. Grimes is hilarious. I thought this was fun.
So that match is happening. It sounds great.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they've tangled before, maybe PWG, maybe. But I'm kind of stoked for that. We go to our.
Didn't they meet in the tournament?
Oh, you're right.
Think,
yeah, they did. Yeah.
I think Grimes won then, didn't he? Because he went through to the final.
That's true.
I think.
Remember who won that?
Nope. Yeah, I do.
ACH.
Yeah.
I saw him the other day on New Japan Strong.
Yeah.
Even in a
hoodie.
In a mask.
Yeah.
Brody King's mask. Yeah, I think I'm going to watch more of that show. I think I like it.
Okay.
That New Japan Strong. Listen to Shot in the Dark where Sino talks about it, but I checked it out obviously for the other match. But I was like, hey, there's some cool cats around there. So Reed versus Grimes later. We go to the Robert Stone brand. It's Aaliyah, the chick from the Six, and Jessie Kamea coming out. But Aaliyah has a one-on-one match here. They mention the chick from the Six repping Sportsnet 360. NXT now airing live in Canada, and then now they're moving to Tuesdays. I wonder if they're making the move to Tuesdays too. Wouldn't it be such a thing, Canadian wrestling thing to
have it for a month?
Yeah, to screw them over.
I think it will move.
Hopefully it moves, but then I don't know about you, but Canadians watch a lot of hockey on Tuesdays, so.
Oh,
just saying. USA apparently is putting NHL on Wednesday nights, but I don't know if that messes up Tuesdays. I know Tuesdays is a big hockey and basketball night and sports night usually. So I don't know. It's tough.
It gets to a point there's sport every night.
Yeah, there's wrestling every night. Yeah. So yeah.
Apparently everyone back home was checking out Aaliyah and cheering for Aaliyah.
That's what Vic Joseph said.
And we certainly were. So
we're always cheering.
We're Team Aaliyah.
Here in the Six, we always are Team Aaliyah, no matter what. Yeah. So Aaliyah's going up against Ember Moon, who comes out with Shotzi in Shotzi's tank, and in a great callback, it cues to Robert Stone, who all of a sudden's got this nervous tick and kind of having PTSD here, as he's like, I'm fine, I'm cool, because he sees Shotzi's new and bigger tank. So he's getting flashbacks here. It's
he played it well. Now. It wasn't over the top, but they definitely. And I like how commentary didn't really draw too much attention to it, but he definitely looked nervous.
Yeah, I really like the little things here from this guy doing that. I think Robert Stone kind of plays his character well. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it's a shame that it kind of got derailed a bit. They kept having people join and then leave. So it feels like with Kamea now, they're trying to rebuild up the Robert Stone brand.
So Ember versus Aaliyah, it's basically both of them going at it pretty quick. There's like the classic drop downs and everything, but it ends up being a forearm from Aaliyah, and Ember like kind of no-sells it and laughs at her and says, "Oh, you call that a strike? Come on." And Aaliyah like kind of dances and goes, "Ooh, ooh." Ember says, "I'll give you one for free. Hit me. Show me. Ooh, we got a follow or subscription." Ember says, "Hey, I'll give you a free shot. Hit me. Come on, right here." And as Aaliyah goes to do it, Ember like hits her and beats her up. It's like, well, isn't that not a babyface thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because we watch a lot of New Japan, but if you're going, come on, hit me, I expect you to take it. I can't imagine Minoru Suzuki going, come on, hit me, and then tricking him into an arm drag.
You think Kota Ibushi would be like, hey, hit me, and then just not?
Psych.
Can't believe we're mentioning Suzuki and Ibushi while talking about Aaliyah and Ember Moon.
Fuck yeah.
But, like, dream match.
Yeah.
I would watch.
That's a mixed tag I'd see.
Yeah. Who would team with who? It's got to be Aaliyah and Suzuki.
Aaliyah and Suzuki, sure.
Yeah.
Either work, really.
Ember Moon and Kota do the double moonsaults.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Dream. Look at what we book on this show.
Aaliyah and Suzuki just fucking headbutting people. Stiff elbows.
Everyone from the Six
Aaliyah
loves Suzuki.
going, hulking up.
Just Aaliyah wearing nice hats.
Oh, yeah.
So this match continues, and Aaliyah fell for Ember's trick here as Ember has control. There's like a spear from Ember where they both tumble to the outside. Robert Stone tries to get involved. Looks like he tries to give something or show something to Ember. I could be reading into this too much, but it seemed like he was like, look, I got something. But Shotzi like scares him off. Ember then does like a wrecking ball kick off the top, off the apron there to the outside. But it's Aaliyah who now has the control and beating down on Ember with near falls. Ember comes back with this like pretty cool spine buster for a near fall. And then Ember drops Aaliyah down. Stone is on the apron. Jessie Kamea tries to get involved. Shotzi takes them both out in her camo pants, which allows everyone down. Ember jumps off the top, hits the Eclipse, and pins Aaliyah for the win.
I thought it was quite clunky at times, this match. There were some cool moves in it, but I didn't think the connective tissue was really there. It kind of felt like bit to bit and a bit sloppy with some of the distractions and things. But I thought Aaliyah sold that Eclipse really well. She kind of flipped out of it. I thought it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, that move is great.
But yeah, it didn't do a whole lot for me. Personally, I kind of like to see a bit more of Robert Stone brand. Like, see him grow it a bit more and have a bit more mic time, because I do find him quite entertaining.
Right. I feel like he should get more people. I feel like that's the thing AEW has been doing with the managers, Matt Hardy and whatever, but I feel like managers in wrestling could cast their net differently a bit more. With your Bivens and your Stones.
Yeah, I'd kind of like a little Biv and Stone feud with their clients, maybe.
They steal each other's clients and back and forth. We have Thatcher and Champa backstage. They're trying to be interviewed because they lost their match. And Thatcher says, we've all come from somewhere. We all have our past. Champa says, well, it's not about the past. His time with Imperium is in the past, and it doesn't matter. So it seems like Champa doesn't want him to talk about his ex.
Yeah, this was kind of interesting because like fans of wrestling kind of wider than the WWE bubble know that Thatcher is part of Ring Camp with Volta and Marcel Bartel. But it hasn't really been referenced on TV at all. And they didn't really hit you over the head with it either. But they kind of just addressed, I used to be with those guys and now I'm not and I don't want to be. Mm-hmm. But this all looks like it's leading to Volta coming back.
I hope so.
And you know what? We've seen Thatcher Volta before in Progress, like a few years ago, which was a great match. So I'd be down if they're building to a match between those guys. But I think you can get some good tags in there with Thatcher and Champa against Eichner and Bartel as well. So, while Finn is busy with Adam Cole, maybe hold off on that Volta match and go with this one for now. Yeah,
that'd be crazy to see. I just want to see Walter on this show.
I think so.
This is a show we watch every week. I know you can check out your NXT UKs and all that stuff. Miko Satomura versus Kay Lee Ray this week. Going to be for the title. I hope she wins and goes forward. I checked out some of their stuff with Pretty Deadly, winning the tag titles over there as well. They seem to be in the right direction. Like, honestly, some of the wrestling on that show is really good. Walter is the champ, but bring him over here, and this guy should be one of the biggest stars in wrestling.
I feel like we've started to feel his kind of presence, even though he hasn't shown up. His shadow seems to be there, right? You said there was that tease last week when the camera cut away when Imperium were walking.
It looked like there could have been all of them, yeah.
And I feel they're teasing him, so I definitely see that's the way we're going.
I would like to see Finn versus Walter. I would honestly just want Walter versus anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone here is so
He's
fresh.
One of those wrestlers that, anyone he faces is an interesting match.
Yeah, anyone on this show, like him versus Kyle, him versus Cole.
Roddy,
like,
Gargano, Champa, Thatcher,
yeah,
Zia Lee.
Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with Imperium and Champa and Thatcher. We have a hype video for Tony and Io next week. Io Shirai says she's not scared, even though Tony says that she secretly is. Like, hey, I beat you. You're secretly scared. You've been on this run, but it doesn't matter. You don't have my number. And Io says, I respect Tony Storm as an athlete, but not as a person. I'm one of the greatest, and I'll continue my reign. And Tony says, well, it's going to end next week. One-on-one. It's Tony time.
Yeah.
She's got to get that in. It's Tony time.
So next week looks pretty stacked. Normally we've seen kind of the patterns of when AEW have a big show, NXT try to load that show, and they don't seem to be doing that this time. They're loading their show next week, which is, apart from the fallout from Revolution, it's relatively unopposed right now. So 2 big matches for next week, and I'm really looking forward to the men's especially.
Yeah,
I think this could be a good match. I want to see Tony really step it up, and if you're going to step it up against anyone, Io's the person to do it against.
Yeah, she kind of needs to like recreate herself a little bit, show that you can kind of. Io's the best. I say it all the time. Io Shirai gets me high. I think she's just one of the best wrestlers, if not the best wrestler right now, men or women, whatever. And when you have a match with her, it kind of shows like who you are and if you can hang. And I saw people kind of shitting on that Zoe Stark match last week, and like I thought it was all right.
Right.
I know people like the AEW women's match as well, and I kind of didn't like that one. So different thing.
Sorry, which one?
Baker and Nyla Rose.
Oh,
I was like, it was okay. But I feel like Io is one of my favorite people to watch, and I used to be into Tony. I feel like more so on the indies, and I want to see them like just have a banger.
I feel everyone else around her has improved, and she's just the same ring-wise as she always has been. And I think everyone else has kind of stepped up, so I want to see her step up.
I'm not saying because Io does like moonsaults and cool flying moves that makes her the best.
Io's so smooth.
Yeah,
just facial expressions and everything, the way she sells.
The storytelling
is great.
The selling is what makes her very good. And I feel like Tony maybe is missing some parts that I feel like next week she should deliver and have a great match. I don't see Tony winning this match. I see Io returning.
Oh, it's got to be Io, surely.
So we go to what is not the main event of the evening, because now we have a new one with Finn and Roddy. But it's the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship on the line. Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, the winners of the first ever Dusty Classic Women's Tournament, get their title shot here against 2 former NXT superstars. Both champions? Were both champions?
No, I wasn't. No.
That's good. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Yes, they're on NXT again.
Yeah.
So, the tag titles on the line. We are all wondering, is this going to be the time we get to snag these titles? Does NXT teeth these away from the main roster? Let's find out. The story of Shayna and Dakota, with Dakota being the scared little girl, is something I'm interested in this match. Like the fact that she used to bully her and say that to her, and the last week with the whole thing, like I'm not the same person. So it starts with Shayna and Dakota. Shayna's like working on Dakota's arms and doing some joint manipulation, and Dakota just slaps her and just goes after her. There's like a snap mirror type float over cutter type thing, but gets dropped. There's then a standoff with both teams on the outside, kind of like at a stalemate kind of thing, as they go into picture-in-picture. And during picture-in-picture, they're like beating down on Dakota Kai here. This is when we saw the trailer for the Bob Odenkirk movie, and we were like, wait, what? So when we came back from commercial, Shayna Baszler's beating down on Dakota Kai, and Nia tags in and does the Brock Lock, and then like swings Dakota like into the turnbuckle, which looked great, actually.
I love that you call it the Brock Lock as well.
Yeah, the stretch muffler Brock Lock. Goes to pin Dakota, but Raquel breaks it up. The story is Dakota keeps trying to make the hot tag to Raquel, but gets shut down. Finally does a handspring kick to Nia. Tries to tag Raquel, but gets caught with Baszler, but then super kicks her. Finally, hot tag to Gonzalez, who comes in. Follow-away slam on Baszler. Another one on Baszler. Tour of the Islands, the spinning power slam for a 2 count. And finally, we get the immovable object versus the inevitable. What is it? Yeah.
The
inevitable.
Irresistible force versus the immovable.
That's what it felt like here. It felt like Hogan versus Andre here in the Capitol Wrestling Center as Nia Jax and Raquel Gonzalez stand face to face. And they go at it here. Two big badass women, as the commentary are calling it here. They're going at it now. Beating up each other, and it's now they send Nia back out of the ring.
Nia hits a headbutt at one point, which looked kind of scary.
She's like, Aaliyah, no headbutts tonight. I'm doing it. So Nia gets sent to the outside here, and then they work on Baszler, and it's the go-to kick combo from Raquel and Kai, for a near fall. And then they go for it again, but it's countered into like the Karafuda clutch from Shayna the second time around. And you think it's over here, but she eventually reaches to the ropes to tag Raquel, who comes in and accidentally boots the ref while booting Nia off the apron. And then she's knocked out of the ring, but then it's the Karafuda clutch again on Dakota, but the ref is out. So cue Adam Pearce, who comes out with a Raw referee who calls the match because Dakota is like, doesn't tap out, but like is faded. Instantly, doesn't even really kind of check, just goes, oh, she looks...
He lifts the hand. The hand's limp, yeah.
The story here, though, is Dakota Kai was not the legal person in the match. Raquel was, because this new ref. So the match is called Shayna and Nia retain, but Kai was not legal. What is Adam Pearce up to? What?
I was so disappointed.
Yeah, I know.
I know you're not a Shayna fan. I like Shayna. I really like Dakota and Raquel. I'm not a fan of Nia. I don't think either of us have really hidden that fact over the years. I don't really rate her as a performer. But it wasn't just Nia that was wrong with this match. I thought there were so many just like gaps and kind of felt like miscommunication. Commentary felt off. There were just big gaps in commentary where they seemed confused. I thought the moment between Shayna and Dakota could have been a bit more special when they were going at it. I thought this was sloppy. I really didn't think it was very good. Actually, the one thing I did like, which I can see a lot of people being critical about, was the finish, because it wasn't just the NXT girls losing. There was some controversy there, and it makes me curious. Okay, are we going to have some sort of a bit more cross-promotion almost between NXT and main roster, perhaps, which I'm for. But aside from that, I really didn't like it. And also, there was a funny moment where Beth is talking about Shayna wears this armband, which is a tribute to her trainer, Billy Robinson. With the segue of the night, she goes, oh yeah, that armband's in tribute for a trainer, Billy Robinson, who wrestles kind of like Finn Balor and Roderick Strong, who are in the main event tonight. You're like, well, okay, weird one, Beth.
Yeah, that was weird.
But I didn't like this. Really disappointing.
I don't think this was like the worst match, that I've ever seen, or it wasn't necessarily like that bad. I just, it didn't live up to any of the hype that I thought. For some reason, I thought this match was gonna like bang, and it kind of just didn't. I'm not a fan of Nia Jax at all, and I'm not a big fan of Shayna, and I just thought, hey, maybe this is the time to give us the titles over here in NXT. And I knew that it wasn't happening when this match was placed in the middle of the show, because it's clearly what they were going for. But to make matters worse, they get the WWE stink on it with the Adam Pearce shit, and I'm just like, it's just not how I like my wrestling. Like, can't we? Isn't this the show where we get clean finishes? Can we not like just have defiant? I was into the Shayna Dakota thing. I don't like the fact Shayna beat Dakota. It genuinely made me mad. So I think that'll be the catch for watch the rematch.
It depends. While we're on the, shall we talk about the Regal thing now?
Yeah,
it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. A little later, they see like a camera through some glass into a room, and Regal and Pierce are like having a shouting match essentially, but you can't hear them. So after that, William Regal says, I'm going to make an announcement. And the announcement, I'm trying to find now. To
change the landscape of wrestling forever, essentially.
It's going to change. He's been watching his Tony Khan. Yeah, from Impact or whatever. He says he has an announcement next week that's going to change the landscape of NXT. I assume he means because they're moving to Tuesday. But he's also talking about like how the women in that match were screwed.
Yeah, it's to do with that women's match. Now, people are saying, does this mean either like a rematch, maybe a rematch on a main roster event? Maybe Magan in the room is saying he was standing next to an Evolution poster, as in the women's pay-per-view. Maybe he's going to announce a takeover Evolution, like a women's only takeover, perhaps. Other people are saying maybe NXT women's tag title.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm thinking.
I don't like it, to be honest.
More titles.
It's more titles, and like those main roster, well, they're meant to be all three brands. The tag titles have been booked so poorly. Why are you so protective of them? Like, if you want to have a tag division in NXT, why not just have the titles in NXT? Because, Shayna and Nia are now having a feud with Lana and Naomi. Like, do we need that? Do we really need that? It just feels like any time a wrestler gets screwed out of a match, you're just going to create a new championship for them? Because everyone will have a title.
It's like Cody.
Then. Yeah.
I don't know what the announcement could be. It could be some sort of takeover Evolution show. It could be something to do with a rematch, or maybe he's going to announce that they get a rematch on a special Tuesday night show. Maybe reference the takeover. Maybe, who knows? But he says he's changing the landscape.
I don't hate the idea of a takeover Evolution. To do something a bit different.
No, that would be great.
Yeah.
But maybe not around WrestleMania time, because there's just a lot going on with other stuff. Tag titles, the world men's title. Like,
but you've got the NXT on the Wednesday. You could just do essentially a 2-night takeover. Yeah. One on USA and one on network, perhaps.
Yeah, but overall, I wasn't really too interested in into this women's tag title match tonight. It didn't really deliver for me. It was kind of just there, kind of boring. But hey, you know what wasn't boring?
What's that?
Therapy.
Oh,
therapy.
God, we're going back, aren't we?
Shout out mental health workers and just any workers in these times. More therapy. And now Johnny's been sent out of the room, but the way is still there. Loomis has his eyes on you, says the therapist. And Theory's just like, it's okay. I think he just gets lonely sometimes. Don't we all just get a little lonely sometimes? Indy says, I'll be his friend with benefits. Yeah, Indy's trying to smash. Loomis says that he has... the therapist...
She was the guy in every, like, comedy that's like, yeah, I'd do her. But she was doing it about him.
Yeah.
Like,
it's great.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It's funny. I just, like, this whole thing is just really weird.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a fan.
No, yeah. Like, I'm not blaming the performers in this necessarily. So they say Loomis has victims, and Theory's like, he can be a little weird, but he did choke out Johnny, and now it's like Candace is saying weird things. Like, am I taking crazy pills? And that they realize that it's Johnny texting her what to say because he's been kicked out of the room. Yeah. So they kick out all the rest of them, just Theory, and Johnny's on his phone, get caught texting, and he's like, I'm just ordering Uber Eats. Do you want anything? And then they leave Theory alone, and she's like, tell me what really happened, as they go to the next part.
And the music goes all sinister.
It's all sinister. Just ridiculous.
Yeah. Then we get a commercial for Chicken Fried.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's what I wanted to... You know the song Chicken Fried?
Yeah.
Chicken Fried. Cold beer on Friday
it came on, and both of us like were quiet before this came on, and then we like started like humming along, and then the commercial ended, and then we both got really sad because we can't go out to shit.
Like, I miss going
out to shit country bars and working at fucking bars that have that song every fucking night.
Zach Brown Band.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the days when we used to, before a theme tune, and we used to just play music, that would close the show tonight. A bit of Chicken Fried.
Fuck. I went from hearing that song all the time to never.
Let's blast it after this.
Oh, we're going on a country playlist down the.
Go on Twitch and just sing it.
I love country music sometimes. I got to be really lit, I think, to get into that.
Oh, like live country music
is great
in the South. Is so fun.
Nashville is amazing, definitely. We go to LA Knight. He says, I'm on the way for my time. He's going to come to the ring in a little bit. But we have an insert video here from Isaiah Swerve Scott. He's in his like studio. He's like producing beats. He's got some like woman standing next to him, and she's like listening to like whatever he's been working on. He's like, yeah, check the levels on this, huh? And the studio looks lit. As a person who has a bedroom studio, this is pretty impressive. I wonder if it's his actual studio, and I wonder what music program he used, what DAW he was using. He says that life is full of opportunities, and Leon Ruff keeps lucking up. Well, Swerve's here, and Swerve has to grind, and it's funny that this NXT CWC is now Swerve's house. So, hunting for opportunity, you ain't on my wave right now, Leon, and you don't want to go to war with someone who cares less about you than me, essentially. So, which I thought was a pretty good line. He says Swerve is different, and I just don't care anymore. And then it like cuts to black after that. I thought this was good. It necessarily doesn't show, like, I know he does his podcast, the Swerve's House and all that stuff, which is great. I know he's involved in music somehow. I'm not sure if he produces beats or raps and stuff as well, but it looked like cool. I thought for sure he was just about to start rhyming. I thought he was about to spit, and I was like, okay, we're getting more rap gimmicks and wrestling. Yeah. But I was happy he didn't.
No, he was more that producer. Yeah. I really like this. I think the setting looks really cool. This is essentially, you know how Champa has just the fold up chair and the camera. That's his promo style. This should be his. I can even see him having a title like propped up behind him, like on his soundboard and all that. I think his promo is really good. I think he's got a great look. Like, this guy seems cool, right? This doesn't seem like WWE trying to make a guy what they think is cool. This guy seems kind of genuine to me.
Yeah.
And I actually think he could be a big deal. I think should be higher up than he is, because recently he's really shown that he's got quite an interesting character. We all know he can wrestle. And I just think this is really different. And I kind of think this kind of character works today. I don't feel insulted watching this dude.
Yeah, I love music. I love all the hip hop and trap stuff, because as he's talking, like the beat's playing underneath him, like he's just talking over this beat. I'm assuming he made or something like that. So I was like, oh, this is like something completely different. He's not rapping and doing jokey shit. He's kind of being kind of serious and kind of sinister while just like in his little lab here.
Yeah, this is just how he chills. Where another wrestler will be like at a bar chilling and then cutting a promo. This is what he does.
He's gonna make beats for
like,
Austin
no, I'm
Gunn.
not gonna rap about like insults to you, but I'm at work right now.
He sells beats to Austin Gunn and the acclaimed
Max Caster.
He's gonna sell beats to them. Maybe I'll send my beats to Isaiah Swerve Scott. I thought this was cool. It was something different, and it looked the visuals. Everyone who has some sort of music studio, you always gotta have cool lights. You see my room, even your room. You gotta have cool lights in your lab. So more on Swerve. I assume we're gonna get him versus Ruff again down the line, since he beat him up last week. We go to L.A. Knight, who comes out to some sort of Matt Riddle theme ripoff, San Andreas theme ripoff, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg style.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was suited him.
I was kind of bobbing to it. I'm kind of into it. He comes in with his blue jacket and matching blue shades tinted. He says, "I've waited too long to step into this very ring. I'm shooting straight down the barrel. Let me talk to you. I'm not here to talk about childhood dreams. This is my business. And you want to talk about takeover? Well, the one-man revolution has rolled in. I'm the Tom Brady of wrestling. Actually, Tom Brady wishes he was half the man as L.A. Knight. Like old Tommy Boy, I was not the first-round draft pick. But bet every dollar you have on me. I'll be the guy setting trends and setting records. You got your Garganos, your Kyle O'Reillys, your Coles, your Ballers. Every one of them. They got fancy kicks and flips and dives. Well, I'm inviting it. Bring it to my front door, because I got no flash. I got no pizzazz. I didn't come here to do anything fancy. I guarantee to get the job done. I'm a last of a dying breed. Don't call me the GOAT, because it's overplayed. It's thrown around like confetti. Call me one thing. L.A. Knight.
Woo!
Whose game is it? It's just a fact of life. Great promo here from this guy. Again, I know he's really the old school wrestling promo, so a lot of people would probably really like it or really hate it, considering it's like now. But I thought his delivery is great.
I love it. I think instantly grabs your attention. The three, I think it's 3 promos we've had from him so far, all kind of vignettes. Now finally one in the ring. Yeah, this felt kind of, I don't want to say The Rock, but more in that vein. It felt like it didn't feel scripted. It had so much charisma, great lines in there, just such a confident talker, which it's kind of rare in WWE.
Confidence.
To see this kind of promo. And it did take me back to the 90s and early 2000s. Haven't seen a whole lot of this guy wrestle at all. But yeah, definitely a promo that can keep him in the game forever, realistically.
He's such a great talker. Again, we haven't seen him wrestle here in NXT. If you've seen him wrestle before, I haven't seen him wrestle in a long time, since his Impact days, but I know he's been killing it with the promos before this, and now he's here. And I thought this is some classic wrestling promo here. You're trying to come off like you're the god. Everyone wants to be Ric Flair, and he's mentioning Tom Brady. I thought that was maybe a little cheesy, but like he's going off, and I thought he delivered it. It's definitely a confidence thing. I think he could go. It's like Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes could go out there and just read a phone book, and you'd be like, "Whoa, he's so intense."
Sells you. Eddie Kingston. It's not really the kind of wrestling I enjoy a lot of the time, but he talks me into wanting to see his match.
Yeah, I see this guy. I see this guy being one of those guys.
I see this guy absolutely, and I think this guy seems cool as well. I wouldn't mind pulling off those shades and that jacket, and those Jordans.
You should get a jacket like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Tinted glasses.
We're getting there. We're getting spring weather. We're getting into that thin jacket weather soon. So
well, I'm gonna wear what the guy who comes out and kind of not interrupts him, but right after this, Bronson Reed. You're gonna.
I thought you meant Grimes.
Should I dress like Grimes?
Sure.
Get his hat and just the trunks.
No, that's Siren's domain.
Yeah, he won he was the Halloween costume for that. I was gonna get Bronson Reed's Godzilla scarf.
Oh yeah,
that he doesn't wear anymore.
Oh right, just the plush toy on your shoulders.
Yeah. So Bronson Reed's music hits. He comes out and kind of has a stare down with LA Knight as he makes his way. Bronson's got his claws up. He's joining the Dark Order. He's going up against Cameron Grimes, who now comes out to the Money song, like the music video that he had.
The Josiah Williams.
Yeah. So now it's his theme song and the Titantron as well. Money. This track is money. I don't know why it's not on streaming services. Number one, goes straight to the moon. This video, this song. Cameron Grimes not only has this new theme song that he bought and the new Titantron that he bought, he also bought new gear because his gear has diamonds on it now. He can afford that.
I think he just looks. He's always looked ridiculous. He always looks. I know wrestlers pretty much are naked anyway, but he always looks naked. I don't know what it is.
I love
Does he
Cameron
not wear
Grimes.
knee pads? Is that it?
I don't know, but I love his little bum shake. Yeah. The Cameron Grimes bum shake is something we can all relate to. We all do it.
It's because he wears the hat and a waistcoat.
We all do the little bum shuffle. Don't even lie.
Yeah, he was twerking.
Yeah,
away,
he was like doing the fake twerk. It was great. I was fucking dead at this, to be completely honest. I was laughing hysterically. I loved the music video. That was one thing, and I know we talked about. I think last week it was kind of like a flat. The Ted DiBiase thing. Yeah. It was kind of flat. This is now giving me some Beverly Hillbillies vibes. Totally, like he's coming out here, doesn't know. He's trying to know what he's doing with the money, but he doesn't really. I thought this was so funny. This was just his entrance. I loved it.
He's great.
And the match starts, and Bronson Reed just checks him here, shoves him away, beats him up here. There's money flying everywhere. He's trying to pay him off. Like, hey, we can talk about this. I can pay you. Everyone's got a price. Reed beats him up. Money's flying everywhere. There's a spot where Reed catches him to the outside and throws him. There's the Yokozuna bonsai drop from Reed here. They go to commercial. When we come back, it's Reed who's still beating up Grimes, but he comes back with an enziguri to Reed. There's then the collision course from Cameron Grimes, which looks crazy on a big guy like this.
This one almost looked like Bronson went for his crossbody and it got countered into the collision course. It looked really good.
Yeah.
The guy this size taking it. Crazy.
This looked nuts. It's a Spanish Fly power slam type move, and he hits it on Reed, who is a lot bigger. Holy. There's then a series of roundhouse kicks from Grimes, stiff roundhouse kicks here, but Reed then forearms him, does his running train, crushing him there. Grimes goes to get his hat for some reason on the outside. I guess that's where he gets his powers. And Reed flies at him with this suicide dive. Looks great. Samoa Joe.
He was trying to leave. He had enough. He was getting his stuff and going.
He was leaving. He should have picked up all his money. Yeah. There's a lot of it in the ring. Suicide dive from Bronson. Looks like Samoa Joe. Throws Grimes back in the ring. But this is where LA Knight who was out earlier, comes out and distracts Reed off the top, kind of pushes him off the top rope.
Pulls
there.
the ankle,
yeah, pulls him down, which allows Grimes to run at Reed, jumps up with the cave-in, crushing him here. This move looked dirty, and Grimes pins Reed.
Pretty good match here. I checked, they didn't face in that tournament. I think this is their first.
Oh, okay,
match. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Big fan of both guys, actually, Bronson Reed and Cameron Grimes. I think they could be the future of NXT. I feel we could move these guys up the card a bit more in the next few years. And the LA Knight involvement.
Apparently they did face in the tournament.
They did? Okay, I couldn't find it. The LA Knight involvement was interesting. I kind of maybe see him trying to bleed Cameron Grimes of all his money and pretending to be his friend because he can see he's a bit stupid. Because obviously LA Knight seems a pretty savvy guy and seems to like the finer things as well. So I can totally see him like being in cahoots with Grimes for a bit, but ending up stabbing him in the back and bleeding him dry. That's my pick.
He's gonna try
hot take.
He's gonna be trying to be cool like him. So like cool like that. So he's gonna get like a blue jacket or green jacket to like go match like to look cool like how a superstar would look. He's just gonna steal other people's vibes.
Yeah,
that's what Cameron Grimes is gonna do. Grimes vibes with steal. Like he's just gonna buy his way into everything. That's what he's gonna do. But he won this match.
Yeah.
So he's on top of the world. He's above the world. You know where he is.
He's to the moon.
Yeah. So great.
So I assume LA Knight and Bronson Reed is happening at some point as well.
Probably like in the next few weeks or next week.
I'm intrigued by this.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they announce like next week or in a few. We go to, well, this is where Regal and Pierce were arguing, and we already found out what happened. But Kaden Carter is here backstage. She's letting us know that Kacy Catanzaro is out with an injury. I believe it was her ACL, her leg, or something like that. And she's out because of the attack from the purge of Zia Lee attacking Kacy last week. Kaden Carter says Kacy's fine. She's going to heal up. It's going to take a while, but she wants some revenge. Kaden Carter has green spacers in her ears, green eyebrows painted on her eyebrows, and says...
And green eyes.
Yeah, she has green eyes. Yeah, and says that all I see is red. Are you sure? You're wearing green contacts. She says, I don't give a damn about Zia. All I care about is what she did. She took out my girl. And, well, that ain't going to scare me. And I want my payback. I want revenge for Kacy. So next week, Kaden Carter versus Zia Lee.
I've been critical on Kaden and Kacy the last few weeks about sounding a bit frat boy-esque and obnoxious. Thought Kaden sounded great here. I don't know if it was because she was on her own or maybe she has just improved, but I thought, yeah, she sounded pissed off. She sounded like she wanted revenge. Had some good lines in there. I thought this was good.
I want to see her get beat up.
Yeah, she's going to.
Zia Lee better beat her up. Mei Ying too.
I found it funny how they were saying about this picture that Kacy posted on Instagram revealing her
injury,
knee and how upset she is about it. But pretty much around the same time, she's posting a picture of her on the beach.
Nice.
And
it's in the cast?
Sorry, Kaden.
Oh,
it's like,
right.
Well, you don't seem too upset about it.
She's lounging on the beach.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Kacy. Feels so bad for you.
It's the turn. It's a swerve. Yeah, that'll be great. We get a recap of Cross and Santos from their parking lot brawl type match last week, and basically Cross won the match. So there's some sadness in Legado del Fantasma, and we'll find out a little bit why. But are you ready for more therapy? You ready to get therapy done? Let's go to Austin Theory, who's alone with the therapist. What really happened in those 3 days, Austin? Well, it was a great time. I was in a small room. The windows were boarded up, and I just ate cereal like all day, the whole day. I watched cartoons, and Loomis is a nice guy. Well, do you know why Loomis brought you back? She asks. Well, I don't know what's going on. I kind of want to know a little bit what was going on with that, what happened, why it happened. The therapist, the doctor, says, well, actually, I had a session with Dexter Loomis earlier today.
She went on a sesh with Dexter Loomis.
she says, Dexter was in here this morning and I spoke with him. And he's like, you talked with Loomis? Well, I didn't get to talk. He wouldn't stop talking. He wouldn't stop talking about how he couldn't wait to get rid of you, of how you were annoying and you were obnoxious and you had terrible fashion sense and you ate all day. And he discussed your infatuation of cutting his t-shirts so that your mediocre abdominal section showed. And this is too much for Austin Theory. That one line, making fun of his abs. He starts to bawl. He's crying. He goes to leave. He runs out. Johnny and everyone's outside. Like, what's wrong? What's wrong? You're a monster. And then says, don't worry, Austin. We're going to Chuck E. Cheese. And then the door closes and the doctor just goes, what a bunch of idiots is what she means to everyone watching these segments.
Okay, right. Let's get into this.
Down to the nitty gritty. Let's get down right to it.
First of all, terrible doctor-patient.
That is highly illegal. You cannot be talking about your next man's.
But do you assume Dexter didn't say any of this, and this was Johnny just telling her to say it because that's what he was paying her for?
Maybe.
Or did that actually happen? I'm not sure.
We'll never know.
I do think most of these Gargano things, overall, I kind of hate them. But there are some funny bits here and there that make me chuckle. I did think Theory was pretty funny this week with his one-lines and his reactions and things. There's just always too much of it. We had, 3, 4 of these tonight? And whenever we get the Gargano segments, we seem to have a few of them per week. And I always just find it too much. That being said, I do think these kind of things are going to help your performers. We criticize Ricochet a lot because of his lack of promo abilities. This shoot probably took a while. They probably took a few takes for this, and it is going to improve all of them with the acting wise. Yeah, Theory and Indy are both young, so hopefully we can get them to a point where, sure, I'm not a big fan of this, but they could be confident performers in a few years' time when it's ready for a main roster thing, and hopefully we don't get the likes of a Ricochet who don't really remember him speaking at all in NXT, and for developmental, you should be improving the things you're weak at, and he didn't do that. Yeah. Whereas I think these things could help these guys, but overall for enjoyment, it's not really my thing.
Yeah, it's not hitting for me as much. And I'll always say Johnny Gargano is one of my favorite wrestlers. When it comes to bell to bell, he's one of the best, and he proved it with the takeover again with Kushida. But it's this stuff I'm not liking the whole cast and crew here with the whole squad. I'm thinking maybe if he was just, I don't like him as this chicken shit heel. No. Kind of they're going to the movie route, taking things from movies, and he's the mean guy and the leader of this group. But it's just, I don't know, it's not clicking too much for me. But I know one day he'll get out of this. But for right now, I didn't like this at all.
No.
Yeah. Well, we go to something I do like, and that is Ever Rise. Do you know why? Because Ever Rise rules.
They rule.
Because they're telling. I love how the camera cuts to them in the ring, halfway through their entrance, and they say it 5 seconds.
They always say it.
In a span of 10 seconds, they say it 3 different ways. Ever Rise rules. Ever Rise rules. They're just dragging it out, and I love it. You do need
that t-shirt.
So Ever Rise are in the ring. If you look twice, you thought it was the Young Bucks, but no, it's not. It's Ever Rise. And then the Titantron of their opponents comes on. The music hits, and it's Spacemen. I thought it was the reunion of Daft Punk, but instead, it's Fandango and Tyler Breeze being attacked right away.
Was it Tyler Breeze?
Oh. I don't know. It was Robot
I
Head.
don't know. I
don't know who it was.
I think this could have been another dude.
You thought it was someone else?
So, if you didn't watch, Breezango have their, occupation entrances. We've seen them as, builders, as policemen, as pilots, as all this. They came out, as you said, as astronauts tonight. But Tyler Breeze never removed this helmet. And they got attacked, and it did make me wonder, was this just Fandango and someone else?
Yeah, okay. Well, Legado del Fantasma, takeout.
Was it Blake Christian is what the room's asking right now.
Fandango and Breeze are taken out, or Breeze, quote unquote. They're attacked by Phoenix. Was it? Sorry, not Phoenix.
Legado del Fantasma. Joaquin Wilde.
Oh,
you're thinking Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah.
Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Noel.
I wish. Imagine Joaquin Phoenix in wrestling would be so lit, bro. Don't sleep on it. So they're beaten up, and then as Everrise think they got off scot-free, they're attacked from behind from Santos Escobar. He beats them up. He goes into the ring. They all stand tall. Legado, he grabs the microphone, Santos, here, and says, "Do not mistake last week's events for weakness. And if you do, this is what happens. I got it. If you do, I'll kill you." So this is what awaits you if you step to us. Just because I lost last week, we put up a fight, and don't forget we're badass.
I think this was actually good to do because I thought that was a pretty good main event and showing from Escobar last week, and it was a shame. We wanted him to win because we see a lot in this guy, and I think to just remind you right away that this guy is still kind of a serious threat. He might have taken a loss, but you should still take him seriously. So I didn't mind this.
Yeah, I like Santos. I thought he should have won. And I think there's bigger stuff and maybe more cruiserweight feuds going on. Yeah. Defend the title, build up other contenders for him to fight and stuff. So we get our announcements again of all the matches next week. Double title matches, women's title and the men's title, NXT on the line. And Zia Lee versus Kaden Carter, which is great. But it's time for the main event.
Oh, yeah.
Finn Balor versus Roderick Strong. End of a Heartache versus the champ. And it's some chain wrestling to start things off here. They're going for the graps. Again, I'm not sure if these two have ever fought, and I was super interested in watching them do so because of this. Right away, they're like going back and forth. They're kind of doing the shoot style. Really great. Of course, Roddy hits a backbreaker. Then they go to picture-picture. When we come back, it's Roddy who's beating him with like series of chops. Finn then starts to work on the arm of Roddy, like does like shoulder separators and arm drops and all sorts of stuff. Working the shoulder, wearing him down, but Roddy hits him with a backbreaker. Again, second backbreaker of the match. As they replay this backbreaker, Roddy does another backbreaker simultaneously.
In sync.
In sync on the show. You thought they were playing the same clip, but no, it was him doing another one. And the commentary start laughing like, oh my God, look, he's doing another one. This is crazy. He is the messiah of the backbreaker. Finn Balor kicks out, though. He gains control. He locks in the money clip. Clearly a big Okada fan, Finn Balor. But it's Roddy who gets out of it, does his front face slam, the angle slam, then the Tiger Driver bomb for a 2 count. Runs into the sling blade from Finn, but then he's dropped down, and he puts Finn into the stronghold. Again, the back and forth and stuff was just great. Finn finally gets out of that, but it's Roddy who does this crazy like leg trap roll up victory roll type thing for like a 2.9 count. I actually bet that Roddy was going to beat the champ here. I was like, yeah, go on, Roddy, let's get it. But he kicks out. There's then Roddy, who famously always goes for the Gibson special, which is the fireman carry lift up into the double knees. Mm-hmm. He goes for this on Finn, but in midair, Finn counters with the stomp, like the cave-in essentially, to Roddy, laying him out, hits the final cut, goes up top, the coup de grace, the flying double stomp here, crushing him. And if that wasn't enough, he picks him up, does the 1916 Bloody Sunday, and Finn beats Roddy.
Beautiful 1916.
Oh.
The vertical like height on this.
It's similar to the Death Rider paradigm shift thing. Yeah, it looks great.
Loved that counter into the double stomp. I thought this match was brilliant. Really great.
Really good
main event. I get because of story-wise and the promo and thing, you couldn't have hyped this up, but I'd have liked a week to have got kind of excited for this.
If you told me this match was happening a week ago and you said, hey, they've never fought before, I would have been way more high. I was so excited when they announced it tonight. Yeah. A little low-key. And then watching, I was like, yeah, these guys, this is great. I was really happy. This is a sleeper hit of a main event for me.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I think hopefully Roddy doesn't get forgotten about this. I know the focus is on Kyle and Cole, but I hope Roddy stays in the picture. I really enjoyed this. What about some predictions? I smell a title change next week.
Well, Adam Cole comes out on the ramp after this match and stares down Finn as he stares down Cole. So next week, you think Adam Cole's taken the reign from Finn?
I think so, yeah. And I think we're building to Kyle taking the title from Cole.
Yeah, I mean, that's the story.
And then Kyle giving Roddy an opportunity.
Down the line. What's Roddy going to do?
That'll once Kyle wins, and he will, he'll give Roddy a shot. I think.
I want Roddy to somehow be in the North American title picture then. He needs to be doing something. This poor guy, Roddy. I really like this match. I thought this was my match of the night from NXT tonight.
100%.
Yeah, Finn is on a whole other level lately.
His best work.
Yeah,
everything.
This past year.
Promo, look, wrestling.
Everything on point.
I don't remember him doing so much of the... I mean, main roster, there's that main roster style, but he never did this mat wrestling on the main roster, did he?
Yeah, he's very technical.
And he's so good at it, and it's just so great to watch him against Kyle and Roddy here. Really loved it. Great, good champion in NXT, I think.
Yeah,
putting
definitely.
On really good matches.
Yeah, he's delivering as the guy here in NXT. And again, not to take away from Roddy, I think he's one of the fantastic, best workers in all of wrestling, and still going, and still shows that he's the guy you could put in any slot and he instantly can save the show. For me, I wasn't really high on this show, and this match made me go, you know what, I liked it. It was all right, because the main event was really hot for me. I really liked it. Don't sleep on Roddy. I hope he's not just kind of forgotten about in all this going forward, but
I don't think he will be.
We'll see, because he's kind of like the last resort of this whole. He doesn't have issue. He's got beat, so it's like. There's no.
He'll be involved in the story, whether he's having matches necessarily.
Right.
He'll be in Kyle's corner or he's gonna be involved somehow.
So Kyle's out, but Cole versus Finn next week. You want a title change? I could see it. I could see that happening, and then that whole Kyle story with Cole.
It can then splinter you off into Finn and Cross or Finn and Volta or whatever.
So we're never getting Cross's rematch.
Not for the title, no.
Yeah.
I don't think he should be in that picture. I know it sucks because he got stripped of the title because of an injury, but that's not what's hot. You kind of want to put the title on your hottest match, hottest feud.
Yeah.
They did that with Gargano and Champa. Aleister Black was champion for a while, but it made sense for Champa to be champion and Johnny to be chasing him. And that's kind of what I sense here as well.
I wouldn't mind. I know we're not 100% sure if we've seen some of the stuff that there's a takeover on this Thursday before WrestleMania, and then if we're moving to Tuesdays after WrestleMania time, so like the Wednesday and then the Thursday show could be interesting. Could be something they could build so many high-profile big matches. There's still some time before that, about a month plus. So I'm looking forward to the next little build.
What I love from this whole split though is it just opens up so many matches. The fact we're talking about the likes of Cole, Finn, Kyle, Cole, Roddy, Kyle, Roddy, Cole. Like, all these matches that are now available to us because of this split. It's a good thing.
The landscape has changed.
The landscape has changed forever!
The landscape. Yeah, overall, I had some things in this episode I didn't really like, but I would say the main event was really fun, so...
Me too.
Stuff.
It wasn't the strongest show, but for me, it moved quite quickly. I was entertained. It just wasn't blow away, but this main event was great.
Yeah. So that's what we thought of NXT this week. Let's go to some feedback and see what you guys thought. Every Wednesday, we'll post at forum.postwrestling.com. Free to join, and we'll read your feedback here on the show. And I already see one from Charbel.
The chosen one!
He says, next week, in action. Long time, not first time. I don't know what that means. He's being cryptic.
I think he's been really busy with work. He's been tweeting out. He's catching up from podcasts we recorded last September.
Wow.
So I think he's saying he's going to have a little bit more time on his hands to watch NXT and write feedback on Wednesday.
I just thought he fancies Tony Storm and Io Shirai.
That as well.
That's what he's... Okay, yeah.
We go to Magan, who says, one booking decision has sucked all the air out of the room as some main roster bullshit occurred. DK and Raquel got screwed. Swerve Scott's heel run could pay off with a solid promo after his motivations. Cameron Grimes' money, pun intended. His new countryside tycoon persona is entertaining, and I love how his cave-in foot stomp is protected. Oh, the cave-in looked nuts today as well.
Yeah.
Really good. LA Knight got his first feud, and I'm not familiar with his in-ring work. Feuding with Bronson Reed is a good start to his NXT run. Seeing Marcel Bartel in the doorway before the opening tag match as Timothy Thatcher walked by him had me on edge. Are we getting a Ring-Camp reunion with Volta? Having a championship doubleheader next week sounds great on paper. What would be a better matchup for Kyle O'Reilly should he return? The trilogy match versus Balor or the grudge match with Cole?
Ooh.
It's got to be Cole.
It's true, though. I would want to see another shot with Finn down the line, but yeah.
Have it when Kyle's champ.
Yeah.
Like, if you do the switch, you can have Kyle, who shown he respects Finn now,
right,
being like, hey, you've beaten me twice. Now you're going to challenge me for it, maybe.
Yeah.
Has Finn Balor or Roderick Strong ever had a bad match? Nope, they haven't. The main event was dope.
Yeah. shout out Roderick Strong. I'm showing all the love to Roddy for all the years.
love Roddy.
He shows you he can do anything. We go to Mystery, who says, Hiya, Dakota Kai and Raquel got screwed. Wonder if next week's announcement has any impact on that. I'm not going to get upset by the angle until we see where it heads. Io versus Tony next week. Tony did nothing in her promo but talk about how Io is unable to beat her, so the logical thing that Io beats her. The women's tag match was okay. Whenever it was Dakota, Raquel, and Shayna, whenever Nia came in, the match quality dropped significantly. She's slow, unathletic, and sold nothing thrown at her, including whatever Raquel put out. Gonna go on a limb and say Adam Cole regains the title next week and then drops it to Kyle soon after. Question, who do you guys predict will be winning their matches next week? Well, we kind of said that already. So
Io retain, Cole win.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
Do it.
Okay, we go to Alex K from T.O. Long time, it's been a while.
Hey.
Long time, it's been a while.
All right.
Subpar episode of NXT with only the announcements of what is happening next week as the only highlights. The way therapy sessions were a miss, although Indy's obsession with Loomis was funny, especially the friends with benefits line. Does she hand him a note next week that reads, "Do you like me?" Check yes, no, or maybe. What was that? Oh, that was
Dynamite.
Dynamite. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
You're thinking of what we're doing. What's
I'm
next.
watching so many shows.
Yeah, so many wrestling. Yeah, sorry.
The main event felt like it never got into second gear. New music for Strong sounded like something a dad would play to his kids to show them that he can still rock. Well, he is a dad.
No, if you were a dad and you wanted to show something to your kids that, I still rock, you'd show them the Post Malone Pokemon.
Okay.
Booty and the Blowfish.
Can't wait for next week, which I'm sure will be a much better episode.
We go to Fire Frank, who says, sounds like an unpopular opinion, but I actually enjoyed the therapy sessions with frustrated dad Johnny and Indy gushing over Loomis, but maybe I didn't have to be so spread out all night that I do agree. Intrigued by the finish to the tag title match to hear what Regal's announcement is next week. Good news. Grimes kept the new song and got a win. Roddy's shirt, though, that shirt was fire.
Yeah, I wanted to know, does he keep the tag in it? Because he doesn't have the sticker, but I reckon he's got the tag.
He keeps the tag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he keep the tag on his hats too, though?
I don't know.
That's a line.
He doesn't look like a hat guy. I don't think his head would suit a hat.
No.
It's kind of big head.
He's a toque guy. Like a beanie, yeah. LA Knight, Frank continues, we let him talk to us. Finn Rod was fired. Next week's show looks big to say the least. P.S. Simply put, Regal versus Pierce, book it.
Ooh, yeah,
No,
why not?
Please don't.
And finally, we go to Maddie B. Opener was solid. Interesting to see what's going to happen with Thatcher and Imperium. The way segments were okay, but the most important thing is that we got Braden's therapy office out of it. Shout out Aaliyah from the 6. Team Kick deserved better. Nia sucks, but she always has, so no surprise. Swerve is really doing some work over the past few weeks. Loving it. LA Knight, that man knows how to do a promo. Grimes' theme is so good. Roddy Balor bought it in the main event. Very good match. Overall solid show and really looking forward to next week's stat card. Maddie B, out.
Yeah, I mean, next week looks like a little secret stacked
yeah.
NXT all of a sudden. So looking forward to next week. It should be good. So join us next week, just like we do this every Wednesday. Soon to be Tuesdays, hopefully, maybe, possibly. For next week, and join us afterwards on Twitch because we'll be recording this show here as well. So, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the podcast.
That's
Bye.
it. NXT. We do so many other shows like we mentioned off the top earlier. Check us out for BD Elite. We go live Thursdays, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch again, twitch.tv/upnext. We record it then and then release it Thursday. So go listen to us talk about AEW and listen to our strange takes because I cannot wait to talk about Shaq.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The go home show for we spoiler free right now, so we're gonna go watch AEW in a little bit and talk about it tomorrow or by the time you're listening today. So go listen to that as well. All this stuff. Go follow on the socials, Instagram, Twitter at upNXT Podcast for all the stuff, as well as be on the lookout for the best death match ever. Again, it's gonna be out free late Thursday night. So
yeah, another quick reminder to join us on Stephanie Chase's YouTube channel tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern to watch Anita versus Funk ahead of our best death match ever review with Damien.
And if you're watching AEW Revolution, Exploding Barbed Wire, listen to Deathmatch, Best Match, Deathmatch, whatever we called it. And then come hang out with the Watch Along for Revolution. We love hanging out with you as well on the Twitch there. So come hang out and we'll watch and see what happens to Kenny and Mox. It's going to be crazy. So all the shows, go give us a follow, go support, go all the stuff. We appreciate you listening every week and every week out. We hope you're doing okay wherever you may be, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We all need some love.
We all need
some therapy.
And some Bob Odenkirk with a gun.
Yeah, I can't wait. Is it out yet? Can we watch it? Thank you for listening. I myself, Braden Harrington. You can find me Twitter, Instagram. I'm at the Brady.
And you can find me at Davey Portman.
You can find me in a therapy office. Take care, goodbye, and be safe.
Ahoy!
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.